Morning, everyone. Welcome aboard the Happy Hooker. It is September 16th. What is it, almost 10 o'clock? A little after 10. We are post Tropical Storm Lee. We're making a video. We've had a lot of inquiries concerned family and friends, so we thought we would just show you what we do on the Happy Hooker to prepare for the storm, what we were doing to get through the storm, and just let you know that we're doing great. We're safe. This storm is nothing for us on the Hooker. We've been through much worse than this. So let's get started and show you what we're doing. Okay, so if we look forward, we do have good visibility out our forward windows. We can see all the way up the river. We can check lines from inside here. As we yell back and forth, we can monitor those a little bit without actually having to go on the bridge, which is really nice. So I'll show you where we're at. We are actually just at the north point of Merritt Island. Okay, so we are actually right about here. This peninsula right here is part of West Bath. And we have Williams Island off to our port side. Really nice and protected in here. And as you can see up here in the cove, low tide mark is a foot. We don't have a lot of room between the tip of the mainland here and down to where we are. So there's really not enough room to fetch up any kind of a sea in there. So it's quite safe. And we'll show you when we go out that we're in a bit of a fjord, so a lot of the wind is going right off of us. Ooh, this is our afternoon snack when we play cards later this afternoon. And I did swing by Pat's Pizza in Yarmouth to pick up by some of their delicious beer cheese to go with it. So we're kind of excited about that later. We've prepped breakfast ahead of time to save on any power usage in case we have to fetch up our engines, fire those up to get going later. We've got pre-made chili I made at home. I've taken it out of the fridge to let it come up to room temperature, which will also help the time that it needs to be in the crock pot, which will just be on warm. It won't use a lot of power to do that. So we're gonna have a nice lunch today as well. This is how we monitor our power. So this is the Victron system. It's part of our solar system. You can see that right now we're using 40-ish watts, so the fridge must be on like a low power take right now. We are bringing in 130 watts, so we do have some solar coming in. It will charge anything over 30 watts. It'll take it in and charge that. We are at 88% on our batteries right now. So we're looking pretty good. Pretty happy about that. Captain Chuck did buy us some Beacon auto inflate life vests. So if it gets snotty and we have to go on deck, we are safe as can be. He's also monitoring everything that we need from the cabin. He's got this sweet system, and I'll let him tell you all about what that system is called and how it works.
All right, well, this is our Garmin system. It's not the latest and greatest, but it definitely works well. I can monitor the bridge. Everything that's going on that I can see on the bridge, I can see here. You can see our anchor drag radius. You can see exactly where we are here in the center. And the only thing we've moved is just back and forth since we set these hooks. You can see we originally went up here and set and dropped back. So this is all stuff getting ready to drop anchor. We haven't moved a lick since we've been here since Thursday night. We're holding well.
What is that system called?
This is Active Captain through my Garmin network. So I can also monitor on my watch. So any anchor drag alarm, which is set for about 200 feet, will notify my watch. So if we're up sleeping, it vibrates and alerts. So We've got no issues there. The TV will start blaring with the alarm. Plus, being a normal sailor, neither one of us sleep very well on the anchor, so we are up checking things anyways.
All right, you want to go outside and we'll see how the sound is with the wind. Our last update from Captain Jay, who can monitor our knots speed, wind speed, was a sustained
25 with gust to 35. We read to knots. We got a good gust coming now. So actually, when it starts taking the water off the top of the waves, it's right around 30 knots.
So that 30 knots translates to about 38 miles an hour. Okay, so we've got our
Kedge anchor, which we took out. If you look, looks like a lobster buoy there. That's marking the spot of the anchor.
You can see that little white spot in front of Captain Eric's Kindness. Name of his boat is Kindness.
And if you peel off to the right here, that is marking Kindness's, one of his anchors that he's got out. We scroll back over here. That's Jana's Kedge anchor.
Okay, this is motor vessel Jana right here. She's a 42 Hinkley. And as talked about before, with the height of that peninsula, we're almost in this little fjord here, so that really helps with wind protection. This is our Uber ride. That's Eric's whaler, and that was used to set all the anchors, Kedge anchors, and our Uber to dinner last night aboard the Kindness. That's a 49 to Fever. I brought some chicken pesto that I had cooked and broccoli, and Jay brought tips, and Eric provided his homemade straight out of the box macaroni and cheese. It was a great little dinner. What is the ring that you guys were using to set those anchors with?
It was a retrieval ring when we had to set and reset to make sure we had everything right. And we run that off the bow line of the whaler, and all it does is run down the line and picks the anchor up. So with no windlass, you're able to just pull the anchor up. That's another reason for us having the buoys on them. It takes the weight off from it, and it saves your back, basically.
Okay, you want to go up on the bridge and show everybody command center, what you got going on up there? We're pretty set up. We have an emergency line if we need it. We have cooler strapped in. Plenty of extra kedge line for adjusting as needed. Okay, command center, Happy Hooker. As you can see on the Garmin here, that shows you our exact position, which is nice. That's a little channel that heads right up to Thomas Point Beach in Brunswick.
And this one here is what gives us the image down below on the TV screen.
So that yawl back and forth, you can see all the black marks. That's exactly what they wanted to set us up with. That's as expected and exactly what we want. So it takes the strain and lightens the load on port side, and then the starboard side will take the strain, and then it goes over to the port side, and that will take the strain. The other nice thing about having the bridge is we do have a little wind protection up here, but anchor lines can be monitored from up here as well. So if it gets really nasty, we don't have to always go up on the bridge. You want to talk to them about what's going on with us right now with that strain?
Yeah, as you can see, we're yarring back and forth. We've got incoming tide and outgoing. So it's just a little lively in here. I think once the tide switches and starts going out, we will just, our nose will stay right in.
We do have our nose set. bow into the wind is the best scenario for this. You can see the little black buoy up forward. Thank you, Allison, for your buoy. That marks where the port anchor is. We don't have a mark on our starboard anchor, as that was not set. That was dropped directly from motor vessel Happy Hooker from our pulpit. Alright, we'll take you out forward, and then Captain Chuck can explain to you what we look at for our lines when we actually do have to go up forward and check those. So we've had a safety talk yesterday, and we're only to use the starboard access to get up on the bridge at all times, so that, and we don't go forward without one of us knowing that the other one is up there. If we were to go over, if it gets a little snartier, we will be using our inflatable life vest when we go up on the bow. But we've also acknowledged that if we do go over, we do have this kedge line, because we obviously will drift back, and to grab that kedge line, and we've got a ring right there if needed. So all safety talks have been gone over. We've had our little drills because Chuck is Captain Safety.
All right. So you can see right now we've got all the strain on our port anchor. We'll come around again here in a minute, and the strain will even out. So this kedge anchor here is a Fortress. It's got about 25 feet of chain on it, and probably just 150 feet of line. Our main anchor out here is a Delta plow, got 100 feet of chain and about 250 feet of line out. That's our main anchor that we use. As you can see, we're not running through the pulpit, so we're pulling directly on the cleat. I don't have any chance of chafing there. And we're doing the same on this side. Got a little bit of line left over if I need to check it. And with this wind, if we did have to come ahead on it, we'd have to fire the boat up and go into the wind.
But the lines look good. There's no chafing or anything, no fraying. Everything looks secure. So we're all good there.
All right.
Backed up?
Yep.
So this is what basically a 30-mile-an-hour sustained looks like for us. They are forecasting possible 40-45 gusts later, and we do have the incoming tide, which we're expecting at about 12:30. We're at about half tide right now if you look at the tidal mark on the islands. All right, so I think that about does it.
Right.
And let's switch this around right here. So I don't know if I could do that. All right, so we'll see you guys later.
We're safe.
We're safe. Thanks for checking in. Love you all. Bye.